refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself.
Shout out everybody here, man. Hello, everybody. We are here on a fresh Sunday for another episode of RBO with my guy Carl, special guest CTC Carl. How you doing today, Carl?
Doing good, man. Like you said, man, Sunday a day of rest. Let's talk about these draft picks, man. Summer League kicked off yesterday.
Yes,
it was
sir.
fun.
Yes, sir. Always love the Summer League, seeing these young guns get out there. Shout out Bronny James, got his first action. You know how it is when your father is a star or your father puts a lot of pressure on you. We've seen it plenty of times in the league. We just wish the best for Bronny James. But today we're going to recap, a lot of the teams that have made picks in the draft. If you know about the R2L family, we have a membership that gives you access to different perks. And one of the perks are IG chats. So we have different sports, different chats for each sport where you get live debates, you get live updates, like trades, anything like that. Guys getting injured, like literally anything, you will get those updates there on the chat. And what we're going to do today is there's a lot of people in the chats that have their own teams. We're going to really break down each player that each team had picked just to give you guys a little bit more in-depth on the type of player you guys are going to get. So I had to get my guy CTC Carl. He's the college guru. So we can talk a little bit more about the background of these players, and then we can talk about, how good of a pick it was. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you like, subscribe, and you share this video with anybody that's the NBA fan. We're in the off-season mode, so there's going to be a lot of topics. We're going to be jumping NBA, WNBA, draft, off-season, a lot of stuff. So stay tuned, stay locked in, and let's get active.
Let's get it.
So we're going to do the draft recap, okay? And the first team that we're going to recap, they only had one pick in the draft, and that is the reigning runner-ups, the Dallas Mavericks. And the Mavericks in the draft, they actually traded for this guy. He was drafted by the Knicks. His name is Melvin Ajinka out of France. He's a 6'7" shooting guard out of France. He was traded from the Knicks in round one, and then they had another draft. They picked up a 6'11" big man, which they actually ended up trading him to the Knicks. So it looked like it was a swap between the two picks. To be honest, that big man that they let go could have really helped them, because I looked him up and he's very active. He's very agile, and he's 6'11", 246. So he got some decent size on him, but he's a Knick now. Let's talk about Melvin. We don't have too much on Melvin, him being an overseas player. I'm going to let Carl go ahead and give his little 2 cents on Melvin. What you got for me, Carl?
Not much, to be honest. Like you say, he's a Euro guy. I don't really, CTC more so college. So I really don't have much to say about bruh. From what you were telling me in the back room, you were saying he was more so of a bucket. And yeah, I can get a sense of that. Highlights are highlights though. So we would have to see it on the main stage. But my opinion, I don't know if he will get a lot of burn this year. That's to be determined. Maybe how he does in the summer league if he plays in the summer league. Maybe how he does in training camp, preseason games, stuff like that if he's playing. So for this year, in my opinion, I don't know if it's necessarily relevant, but it could be something helpful down the line.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. He's fairly young. He's only 20 years old, so he's not like a lot of guys that got drafted this year, like the guy that we picked up. He's like 23, I believe. But him being 20, that gives him a lot more upside. Yeah, I don't know a lot about him, but I did look at some highlights. Highlights are highlights. But one thing I did notice about him, he has a quick trigger. A lot of his three balls he was making, it was like guys closing out right in his face. So that's something that I know the Mavericks can really use. Him being 6'7", having pretty long arms, he has some upside on the defensive end as well. But being a catch and shoot guy, that can definitely get you on the floor pretty fast, especially playing on a team like Dallas where they got Luka and Kyrie over there. All right, that's Melvin. So Mavericks, you guys a young Frenchman. Well, he's not. I don't think he's from France. He played in France, and he has some. He's a young guy, 20. Like I said, he has a quick trigger. So hopefully, we can see some development out of him in the G League, Summer League, and those things. But that's Melvin for you guys. The next guy we're gonna talk about, we're gonna go to the Bulls pick. Ah, so I get these guys first because I'm gonna butcher these names. I know I am. Martes Buzelis. Am I on point, Carl?
That sounds about right. It's Lithuanian, so you could be right or you could be fairly off.
Let's call him Martes. 6'9", 197 pounds. Played with the Ignite team. I don't really know a lot about him as well, as far as because he didn't play in college. He played on the Ignite team. It's hard to really watch those games. One thing I did notice about him, he's very versatile. Him being 6'9" gives him a good size. He has long arms as well. He's athletic and explosive. They're saying he's the best dunker actually in this draft. So that's something that Bulls fans can like. Him having high energy and things like that. A guy. It looks like he reminds me of a guy like a Derrick Jones Jr., a guy that can high fly defend. Not the best shooter at all. He's just a little bit taller than me. The Bulls. I'm not sure how excited you guys would be drafting a guy like this high. Because like I said, he reminds me of the Pistons pick last year, Thompson. Guy that's very athletic and do it all, but his scoring ability is at question.
Yeah. So you said he was 197, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of light for somebody 6'9". I got 6'10", so that's kind of light. So they definitely gonna have to get some size on him, especially if he's going to be thrown in the fire that early, being pick number 11. I agree, not the best shooter. I got right here. He shot 27.3% from the 3-point line. Don't necessarily know if they need that from him, though. It also depends on whether they keep Vucevic or not, because I know he's now supposed to be on the trading block with DeRozan now gone. Levine basically falling out of fold with the Bulls, so I think they're looking to restart there. But, yeah, like you said, man, I agree with a lot of what you said. Really don't know, bro, but he was touted to be the 5th ranked recruit, I think, coming into the college season last year. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. It's going to be interesting to see what he do in the summer league. Like you said, scoring the ball, versatility is there, but just I think the size. I think he needs a little bit more size on him.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. Him being 6'9", only 197, like you said, isn't big at all. Has a 6'10" wingspan, so he has the ability to defend. They say he has impressive rim protecting instincts. Like you say, though, they don't need a lot of scoring from him. When you can impact on both ends early, that can at least get you on the floor. But he definitely is going to have to hit that weight room, especially playing in the NBA, because a couple of them elbows go in his chest. I don't know what he's going to be falling back. But
this game physical. Well, the game can be physical. It ain't as physical as it used to be, but it can get physical.
It definitely can. I mean, I had the same. I remember J-Mo, he bring this up all the time. When Anthony Davis first came out, I said, man, he too light. He got to work on he got to get bigger. but he was found a way to impact immediately. He was a lot better on the offensive end, though. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. So, but being a guy, maybe he can just start being a hustle guy. So, Bulls fans, at least you got rid of Caruso. You might have a guy that can, fill that void a little bit with this guy here. All right. We're gonna talk about this Celtics pickup here. It was another one and done team. You could take this one away, Carl.
All right, so the Celtics actually had 2 picks in the draft. First pick, man, it's funny because I was on Dave's doghouse and I said Baylor Shire, man. To me, he's clearly a second round pick. And as soon as I said that, oh, with the 30th pick, the Boston Celtics select Baylor Shire, man. I was like, come on, bro. I know I don't like y'all, but y'all ain't got to do me like that. Like, instantly just made me wrong. But to be honest, if anybody else was at 30, that's not a pick they would take. But for Boston, it's a great pick. It's honestly a great pick. In my opinion, I think he's the best shooter in the draft. I put, if you don't think he's the best shooter, at minimum, you think he's top 3 shooter in the draft. Great shooter, can actually score the ball as well. Great rebounder, averaged 8.8. No, he actually averaged 9 rebounds per game at Creighton last season, 18.5 points per game. Shot 38, 1% from the 3-point line, but he shot in huge volume from 3, so that's actually really good. Defensively, he may struggle being a 6'6" wing guy, but overall, I think it's a great pick for Boston. He's not going to be asked to do much but to shoot in Boston, so that's just a great pick for them. Second, I'll let you talk about Baylor, and then I'll move on.
Yeah. So Baylor, he's one of my favorite players in college, actually. You would say he was the best player on Creighton, right?
Oh, I don't know. I liked him. I like Ryan Kalkbrenner, and I don't think he was the best player, but Steve Ashworth was a really good one.
Let's say one of the best.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree there.
He and Creighton was one of the top teams. I think they was like ranked top 8.
They
was
were
number 8 or something like that.
I would argue they were a top 3 team in the Big East. Some might say Marquette number 2. Some might say Creighton number 2. But they did blow out UConn.
I was about to say, yeah. So
they did blow out UConn. Creighton was definitely a top team in the country last year.
They're definitely a top team. And he was a big reason why. Like you say, he hits the boards. He has a good size at 6'6", but him shooting the ball. This is why the Celtics drafted him. Well, the Celtics are known to shoot threes. They shot the most threes last year. I think they had the highest 3-point percentage last year. So I think he can take on the role of what's your boy name that comes off the bench now
for Sam Hauser?
Yeah, Sam Hauser. He can take that role right off Sam Hauser's hand. I wouldn't say immediately because Sam Hauser, he just won the ring doing what he do, and he didn't have a great playoff run, but he did hit some threes in the finals. But I just like Baylor. I think he has a better feel for the game than the Sam Hauser. So I think that was an excellent pickup for the Celtics. A guy that they don't have to rush out there. They can ease them on in.
Yeah, I totally agree. That was a great pickup for Boston. And we move on to the next pick, which this one had me questionable. They draft Anton Watson, 6'8" forward out of Gonzaga. In my opinion, a forward that plays below the rim. He can score. He has decent scoring ability. I have right here, he shot 41.2% from 3, but he only shot 51 threes, so not large of a sample size there. But I do like his scoring ability. I just don't know why there. I don't see him getting a lot of burn. I don't know if I see it even in the future. I felt like Boston made that pick because they had to make a pick, and he's a good I wouldn't even say development guy because he is kind of older, but he's a guy that you can maybe find a spot for, maybe, and that's a big maybe. But overall, I do think he has some talent that maybe Boston guys can get out of him. But I thought it was a pretty questionable pick.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think it was a little questionable as well. But like you said, there wasn't really much there for them to pick. I would have liked them to pick the guy that the Mavericks ended up picking for the Knicks, the big man I was talking about, 6'11" guy. Because what did Teddy kept crying about last year about this team? They don't rebound well, so they need somebody that's a little bit more physical down low. But one thing about Watson is he can do it all pretty much on the offensive end. He can shoot, he can post, he can he can dribble the ball. So if he run like a pick and roll or a curl play with him as the ball handler or as the picker, he can make the game flow pretty easy. He's like a point forward out there, if you want to say that. One thing, like you say though, Carl, he doesn't wow you at all in any type of way on the offensive or defensive end. He doesn't have like crazy height, crazy size, or nothing like that. No crazy athleticism. But I think he's a good steady piece for them because like a guy like an Al Horford, he's gonna have to retire soon.
Yeah, but I don't see that's the thing. I don't think he stands in and takes an Al Horford spot though, and that's why I was more so like, I don't know, but they might could find us if I don't know. I do think because it's Boston, Brad Stevens is really good with getting the best out of his players. And
Yeah.
so is Joe Mazzulla. They might find a role for him, but it's going to be tough in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be tough because like we said, he doesn't wow you at all on the offensive end. So I mean, we're going to see, like you say, Brad Stevens is a great mind, and they say Joe Mazzulla the next great thing as far as head coaches. So we're gonna see. All right, I gotta talk about this team next. Well, we gotta talk about this team next, and that's the Lakers. LA Lakers. Man. I gotta get this out the way, man, because they made me very upset
Do you
during the
think?
draft. First pick, they picked up Dalton Connect out of
Connect
Tennessee.
four.
Yeah, that's tight how he got the
Yeah,
Connect four now
that's
in
tough.
the league. Dalton Connect, Carl, I know you got his stats. Go ahead, run the stats off very quick.
All right, so last year at Tennessee, 21.7 points per game, 4.9 rebounds, shooting 45.8% from the field, 39.7 from the three.
This guy is what the Orlando Magic wanted. This is what Orlando Magic needed. This guy can score like no other. He's a shooter. He gets the ball on the wing and he does his thing. A lot of people that watch the tournament probably remember those two crazy games he had. I think they was back to back, right?
Bro, he had 40 against Purdue.
He had 40 against Purdue, and he dropped. I think he dropped like
I,
37 against
I can't remember.
Kentucky.
Yeah, it was no, it wasn't Kentucky because Kentucky lost in the first round. I want to say it was like Texas Tech or something like that. He had like 37 or something like that. I can't remember what they played before Purdue, but I know he had 40 against Purdue and he had like 30 something the game prior.
Yeah. So and against Purdue, that was a big. I was in the tournament, so he shows up in big moments. He's a guy that has the size 6'6", 212. You know, in Tennessee, he was asked to be the main scorer, to pretty much create a low scoring. But with the Lakers, he won't be asked to do that. So I can see him showing a little bit more on the rebounding side and on the defensive side as well. So Dalton Connect, I thought was an excellent pickup. Okay, here we go. He had 40 against.
No, 37 against Purdue, 26 against Creighton.
Okay, yeah, he had 40 against Kentucky in the SEC tournament. That's what
Yeah,
it was, and 39 against Auburn.
man, I think he had what
Yeah,
40 against South Carolina the first game. No, he had 31 against us. Man, he dropped another 39 against Florida, 36 against Georgia.
crazy. And so this is just showing. So the Lakers, you guys got a guy that with AD out there, with a LeBron out there, that I think he'll be able to hit some open shots. I don't think he's going to shy away from the moment. He seemed like a guy that's about business. So I like this pickup for the Lakers. You know, you got a young guy that can actually give you some production right now. What you think, Carl?
Oh yeah, I love the pick. Um, we'll talk about my team later, but I thought we should have got him as high as 5. But I love the pick, like you said, man. Elite scorer of the ball. He can do it on his own, so he doesn't need anybody to create for him. He creates for himself. He can get on the wing and just get to the cup that way, create a shot, step back, and he got a little range on him too. Dalton that got a little range on him as well from 3. So great pickup there. I know he increased his game tremendously going from regular non-conference play to SEC play and average. I just looked it up, 26 points a game in the tournament,
Yeah,
which that's the one that's lights are the brightest. It's the Elite 8, like we said against Purdue, 37. Again, lights are the brightest. So yeah, like you said, he's not going to be asked to do those things in LA. He's just going to be asked more so to score when he can or knock down open threes, which he definitely has the ability to do that. Defensively, I think he can guard. Now, it may be different at the NBA level, but I think he can get adjusted to it well enough to be at least a team defender. Nobody's going to ask him to be a lockdown, you're on an island defender, but I think he can be a really good team defender. But man, just a great score in Dalton Connect.
great. Yeah, I was furious in the chat because the Magic picked right after them, and I thought they was going to let him slide right to us. But it's all good. It's all good. I'll be happy with my pick. We're gonna get to him soon. We're gonna get to him soon.
Hmm.
I actually should have went one ours first. We was actually one and done.
Y'all, yeah,
But
well, y'all traded the second pick, which I thought I should probably kept that one.
man,
But I should kept that one too.
I was yeah, I agree. Everybody know the second pick that the Lakers got, and that's Bronny James. Me and Carl both on record saying we thought he probably should have stayed another year. Not saying he's not good enough, but just to up your draft stock, also to get more reps, to get more to develop your game a little bit more because you played with a guard that got drafted in the first round. Didn't Collier get drafted in the first
Isaiah
round?
Collier, yeah, he
Yeah,
drafted. I want to say like 27th or something like that.
29th. I said right here, 29th
For the Jazz, right?
by the Jazz. Yep. And I don't think you was able to really showcase your talent, your skill. I mean, you ended up at the Lakers with your father. I mean, as much as Bronny was saying he wanted his own legacy, I'm pretty sure he's happy with that as well because he's going to get a fair shot, a definite fair shot now being with the Lakers. But I thought this, we all saw it coming. We think right now, I think Bronny James can be a solid defender, a solid role player on the team. I'm just not sure what his ceiling can be yet. To be honest, I just haven't seen enough of him.
And I agree. In my notes, I put a guard with athleticism that can play defense. Now, some people say Drew Holiday. I don't know if I go that far yet. Can it
Right.
happen? Yeah, but I don't know if I see that off the rip. I do, but like I said, he can play defense. You saw it a little bit in the summer league. He was playing a little defense. Somebody did give him a little move, but he wasn't doing well defensively. Um, but I said that where's that? I lost my train. Oh, need to see more. And the reason why I said I need to see more is because, like you said, we both agreed he should have went back. I thought he probably should have followed Andy Enfield to SMU. SMU now in the ACC. That's one of the best
Yeah,
conferences in college basketball. If you can go to the SMU and the ACC and lead an SMU team to get some wins, do well in the ACC, maybe do well in the ACC tournament, that ups your draft stock tremendously. And I know he signed a 4-year, $7.8 million contract with LA. His NIL deal, especially in Texas, probably would have been around the same thing as his first year with the Lakers. So
facts.
money wise, I don't think that would have been an issue. You get the experience, like you said, you get to work on your game, you follow your head coach. I think it would have been better for him to stay, but he didn't. I think um, I think he's gonna have to work on his shooting. He's a good shooter. I know a lot of people say in his draft combine he wowed with shooting, but that's not shooting with like missiles. You get what I'm saying? That's open on air shooting.
Right.
That's not shooting with defenders come in, big pressure moments, stuff like that. So
Fatigued.
yeah, combines and stuff. I try to stay away from notes of those natures. But what I will say is this: he did have a good game. He had a good game against Oregon State.
Yeah.
I don't know now. What I did notice at USC, I don't know if it's because he wasn't the first option. He wasn't even the fourth option. He was more so option 5 or 6. But he did look a little timid with the rock. But I didn't really see that yesterday, so I don't know what that could have been.
Yeah, that's why I think him staying another year just to play more basketball would have been good for him. Now he's in the big stage. He's out here with the big dog. So I wish him the best. I think he'll be able to work through it. It just might take a little longer than it would have if he would have stayed another year though.
Yeah.
But LeBron got his dream. So hey, all right. Now we're gonna talk about my squad, Orlando Magic. All right, and with the 18th pick, we picked up Tristan Da Silva from Colorado. Now I like this pick. You know, a couple things that are at question is he's a little light. He's not the strongest guy out there. He's a little bit older. He's 23 years old already, but that's a plus for me as well because it shows that he can be a little bit more mature than you know a younger guy that's probably 19 coming straight out. If he's 23 compared to 19, you might be a little bit more mature. But as far as basketball, I like what he brings to the Magic. He's a hooper. It seems he's a guy that can do a little bit of everything. He can handle the ball a little bit. He can shoot the ball pretty well. He can defend he can defend pretty well. He's not a top of the line defender due to his size because guys can still move him around. But I really like what we got out of him because he's like a guy that we can put him in the flow. He's a guy that can run a pick and roll. He can be the roller, the picker, the popper, or the ball handler. He's a guy that can hit open shots. He just has to get a little stronger for me. And I think he's a guy that's going to get some minutes this year with us because one thing that we really struggle with is shooting, and he's a solid shooter. So shooting 40%. So I like to pick up.
Yeah, to piggyback on what you're saying, for some stats for you, I got 16 points per game, 5.1 rebounds with 1.1 steals, shooting 49.3% from the field and 39.5% from three, 40%. Now I agree. I think he's a really good 3-point shooter. And the thing about him is you can't blink with him. The moment you lose him, that moment the ball is going up. Yep. He has a quick trigger. He can shoot the ball really well. Now I do think he can create his offense, but it's not his strong suit. Right. He has the ability to, but it's not like something he does. And that's why I think he's going to help y'all a lot because y'all are going to create so many open shots for him to knock down. And he's so good. He's so lethal with open threes that it's going to help y'all tremendously. I do agree that he's going to get burned this year because of that. Defensively, I'm more so like what you said. His size might hinder him. Yes, he's 6'8", but I don't think he's pretty slim for 6'8".
He is.
So that is going to be a troublesome area. But, you know, guys hit the weight room, guys learn techniques, things like that, team defense, all those things. He still will see the floor for sure. I thought it was a good pickup, especially at 18 because of his 3-point shooting ability.
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, us having a defensive team should definitely help him out, you know, on that defensive side for sure. All right, let's see. I see Joe down there. So let's go ahead and talk about them Kings, man. Shout out Joe. The fire emojis. All right, let's talk about the Kings.
Talk about my boy.
What they had? Oh, they had one pickup too, huh?
Yeah. I think they traded the other one or something like that. They only got one.
All right, I'm gonna let you lead this one off, Carl. Go ahead, do your thing.
My boy. So the Kings. Matter of fact, quick little story. So I'm watching the draft. You know, Joe calls me. I already knew what it was about. As soon as I seen the pick, hey Carl, I said, "What you want to know about the draft pick?" Yeah, Devin Carter. Boom. So let's talk about Devin Carter. Guard. Actually, originally came to South Carolina University under Frank Martin, but Frank Martin then gets let go. The whole team basically leaves. Eric Stevenson, Keyshawn Bryant, Devin Carter, everybody, they all go. He goes to Providence. In the 2 years of Providence, he has an amazing season. One under why am I blanking on head coach Ed Cooley? Then one under Kim English last year. Averaged 19.7 points per game, 8.7 rebounds per game as a 6'2" guard. 3.6 assists per game, 1 block a game, again as a 6'2" guard, and 1.8 steals per game, shooting 47.3% from the floor and 37.7% from the 3-point line. Amazing. I think he's an amazing scorer, especially since his freshman year at South Carolina. Does an amazing job scoring, has range from 3. Now, I didn't say he's an elite defender, but I said he's a really, really, really great defender. Really great defender. That's going to help the Kings a lot. With the trade of Davion Mitchell, I'm assuming he's stepping in for that role. And I think he's an upgrade at that role because even though Davion Mitchell is the better defender, Devin Carter is the way better offensive player. Yeah. And you don't lose that much defensively. It's a slight drop off, but it's not that much of a drop off. But love the pick. I absolutely love the pick. So shout out Kings fans. You got a really great pick there.
Yeah, I agree with Devin Carter. His draft analysis, they got him as a tenacious defender. So, hey, you might be on the sun when you say he's a really good defender. But one thing I noticed about him, he's a strong guard, just like Davion Mitchell. I mean, he's 193 at 6'2". We just read off like 3 guys that's like 6'8", 6'9". It's like 201. This guy's 193 at 6'2". Has a very quick first step, gets to the basket. He's very unorthodox on offense, which kind of works in his favor, if you ask me. Like when he shoot the ball, sometimes it looks like he's about to it don't look like he's about to shoot. I'm not gonna lie, but I like his energy. I think he's gonna fit right in with the Kings with that guard trio. Well, now it's a guard duo. He will make it a trio again with I've got the other one name Fox.
You talking Malik?
No, not Monk. The guard is it Ellis?
Oh, Keon Ellis. Yeah.
Yeah,
He played in the
Keon.
summer league last night, by the
Oh
way.
yeah,
Yeah, he did. He
that's
played
crazy.
against China.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and Keon Ellis, they're the Kings. I said this last year. The Kings got the best defending guards in the league. So maybe Devin Carter will add to that as well. But I think it's an excellent pickup. I mean, averaging 19.7 in college, that's almost like averaging 25, 26 in the league. Like you getting buckets. So I like the pickup as well.
Yeah, man. And he was getting buckets, and he had guys on his team averaging numbers too. He had a big man came, I think it's Odoro, who came over with Kim English. So it's not like he was the only one doing something. Nobody,
Right.
no, he was really getting buckets within the game.
All right, next team. Let's go ahead and talk about the 76ers, man. Let's talk about the 76ers. I got one brother out the way. Let's do the other brother, man. Let's get the other brother.
Let's get it. Ooh, that's not
All right. So
There you go.
the 76ers, with their first pick, they had pick number 16. They ended up getting Jared McCain from Duke, the young TikTok and nail painting sensation. I'm not gonna lie, he can play. He can play some ball though.
J-Mo wow for what he said. Hey, go ahead. I just remember what he said.
Jared McCain went crazy in the tournament. Actually, he was balling in the tournament. I think he had a couple 30-point games, didn't he?
I don't know if he had 30 against Houston, but I know he did really well against Houston, especially when Jamal
Yeah.
Shea went out.
No, he had 7. He had 30 against NC State and 30 against JMU. Those 2 games.
But JMU was a blowout from the rip. I think
Yeah.
he hit like, I want to say he hit like 5, 6 threes or something like that, maybe
Yeah.
7.
He had 8 threes that game and
Yeah,
5 threes against NC State.
I know he had a crazy number of threes against JMU.
Yeah. But I like to pick up. I think him playing behind a guy like Maxey, I think he can learn a lot from Maxey. He's one of those guards that can pretty much do it all out there. He's not. See, this one thing we have to learn. When guys are in college, you're not going to see their full game like you would see in the NBA, because guys are in more of a system play in college. For example, when Paulo was at Duke, a lot of people didn't see his full game because he wasn't asked to do all of that. Because when you're on a team and you have a certain type of coach, they have a certain type of formula, and they also try to teach you things to get you ready for the next level as well.
Can I jump on that real quick?
Go ahead.
So, yes, I do agree with some cases you might not see the full game displayed. Paulo, you've seen certain flashes, like some flashes, like I want to say what the UNC game you shooting middies, something like that. But you've seen flashes. Now the 3-ball you didn't really see too much, not at all. But you do see certain flashes. Now, what I will say is mid-major, on the other hand, that's where you really see people games. Like mid-major is structured, but
Facts.
they still let them play. They know like we got a guy, we gotta let him go. Like
That's
guys
facts.
like he might not be in the league, but let's just say, for example, Eric Gaines, right? UAB, mid-major. You saw his game on full display. Jason Edwards, North Texas. You saw his game on full display. You see Tyler Perry at North Texas. You saw guys like those got a game on display.
CJ McCollum at Lehigh.
Yeah, Lehigh. Like you'll see mid-major level is where
That's
you
a
see
fact.
guys really play.
No, that's a fact. Make sure y'all remember that. If when you getting these guys getting drafted and they say certain things, like they say McCain he's not a good ball handler. That's trash. He can handle the rock good enough. He's good at ball handling. I think that he's going to be a guy that can come off the bench and get these guys some production. He's not scared to go down there and rebound. He's not scared to defend. He's has some athleticism on him. I like to pick up for them. I think he'll be a guy that can develop into a really good role player for them.
Yeah, so I like Jeremy McCain, and I didn't even know that was a thing, saying that he's not a ball handler. I agree. I don't think that's a necessarily great insight. That just wasn't his role. With guys like Tyrese Proctor and Jeremy Roach, his role wasn't to initiate offense. I think even in my notes, I said he can initiate the offense. Like I feel like he can do it. It just wasn't his role at Duke. But great shooter, great scorer. Great scorer. And the thing with Jared McCain is he'll elevate his game when you need him to. Like you need a bucket, he can go get you a bucket. And that's kind of what they need in Philly. Well, I mean, now they got PG and all that, but throughout the regular season to take more and more pressure off Embiid to hopefully last so he doesn't get hurt in the postseason. He's another guy that can go get you a bucket when needed. Like you said, I think he'll do a good job playing behind Tyrese Maxey, another bucket getter. Um, and like you said, man, I don't think we've seen his full game on display at Duke. So I really like the pick for Philly. Really good 3-point shooter. I think he's going to fit well in Philly. Now, the only thing, like you said in the chat, is Philly be ruthless. So
Yeah,
I hope he got tough skin because they are going to kill him for his stuff off the court.
that's facts. That is a fact. Yeah, I've been watching him since high school, and he's always been a gamer, a baller. So I'm wishing him the best. Hopefully, them fans don't go too crazy on him. And B, you gotta have his back, man. You gotta have his back. They had another pick. I'm gonna let you do that one, Carl. Start that one off.
Adam Bonner out of UCLA. Really good defensive big man. I think he
Yes.
won Pac-12 player of the not player of the year, excuse me, defensive player of the year his freshman year. I want to say he won that, but he's a really good defensive player. Offensively, he still needs to improve his game. He has improved his game from his freshman to his sophomore year. Averaged 12.4 points per game, 5.9 boards on 1.8 blocks and 1.1 steals, shooting 58.6. He's better around the rim than he was last year. I think he still needs to develop more of a jump shot, but
Yes.
defensively, he has the strength, he has the size, he has the foot speed. He's really good, and but the only difference is he's not going to be a center in the league. At least in my opinion, I think he's more so of like a 4, like a Drake. Not I wouldn't say like a Draymond, because I'm not saying he's. I think he has the capability to be defensively like a Draymond, just not right now.
Right.
But that's more so his role is. He's going to be more of a 4 who's going to have to like guard guys.
Yeah, I like to pick up. Like you said, he's very good on the defensive side. 7'4" wingspan. He's like his motor is out of this world. Like he's gonna keep going and going. I remember what's the Arizona big man name? The big
Omar Bello.
man. He was posting him up, doing hook shots on him. I'm like,
Yeah, he's good around the rim.
this dude crazy.
Yeah.
And he only 6'8", so you love to see something like that. Having somebody like him can actually help out someone like a MB, playing him beside MB, allow MB on the offensive side to be more of the other power forward, of the guy that's out on the perimeter a little bit more. Well, I said he shouldn't be on the perimeter, but that mid post area, free throw area, and let the Adam do more the cutting, the slashing, the pick and rolling. I like it, and like you say, on the defensive side, he's gonna bring that energy. So you bring him in. They just picked up Drummond as well, so they're picking up some reinforcements to help out with Embiid, and I love that pick for that. But his motor and his defensive prowess is definitely going to get him some minutes on that floor this year.
One more thing I got to say about Bonnet is he does have the tendency to get a little bit of foul trouble, but that comes with playing defense.
That's true. When you play that hard on defense, you definitely gonna foul. You definitely gonna foul. Cause I be hacking.
Yeah, so
I think that's the only pick they have.
That's it for Philly.
All right, next team. I saw Dave down there, man. Let's talk about them Heat, man. Let's talk about them Heat. Let's talk about
blown out last night.
They did though.
That one lost by 50.
All right, first pick.
Oh shoot, that's why he was on the page.
First pick, they got the big man out of Indiana. What's that? Khalil? That's how they say it.
Ware. Yep.
Khalil Ware. All right. Khalil Ware. He's pretty much a 7-footer. We got him at 6'11", 210. One thing I noticed about him. Well, let me let Carl go first. He has the college side in depth. Go ahead, talk about that.
So I don't know if y'all remember the day after round 1. I said the Heat were my biggest winner in the draft. Now here's why. Khalil Ware is 7-foot center, really active on defense around the rim. Average 1.8 blocks per game at Indiana. Let me make sure I'm right there. 1.9, excuse me. 1.9 blocks per game at Indiana.
Hey Carl. He actually had 5 blocks yesterday in the summer league game.
So really active around the rim. Really great rim protector. I thought that was a great pickup. Offensively, he's improving his game still. Made some improvements. Has somewhat of a mid-range jump shot, 3-point shot. I won't say leaves a lot to be desired because he did shoot 42.5 on 40 shots. So again, small sample size, but he's shown he has the ability to somewhat shoot it. He tried to shoot it last night, didn't have it going from 3. But he can score. He gave MSU 29-30, and I think he had the game winning free throws to beat us by 1 at Indiana.
Yeah.
But I can't talk highly enough about this guy. I really like the pick when I saw it. 7 footer. He's a really good defender. Offensively, a work in progress, but it's not like he's starting from scratch. So I love the pick for Miami. Oh, my bad. He averaged, just to let y'all know, he averaged 15.9 points per game, 9.9 rebounds per game. So point 0.1 off from averaging a double double.
Yeah, I like to pick up as well. Shout out Dave. Yeah, definitely a great rim protector. Yes, that's this is gonna allow. And I think you said this on the Refuse to Lose show. Um, I think it was on one of the shows you was
Refuse to
on.
lose.
He's gonna allow Bam to play his position, and that's the four. Bam is
Yep.
not a center. He can play center, but he's a four. He can handle the ball. He can shoot the middle. He can hit some threes if he shoot them. We saw him make some threes last year when he actually shot the ball. But let's talk about some games that we're ahead last year. Last year against MSU, you said 28-12. Minnesota 26-11. Against Wisconsin 27-11. He had a couple 20-10 games. So Miami, you're getting a big man that, like Carl said, his jumper isn't there yet, but he has decent mechanics, something that he can definitely work on and establish a decent mid range, probably even a. You said 42% from the three.
He shot 42.5, but he only shot 40 shots.
Hey, that shows some promise for you as well. So I like to pick up as well. He's a lob threat. Bam can throw lobs. He's a run protector. So having him and Bam and Jimmy out there would definitely boost your defense. I was over here looking actually at some of the stats, and Miami, they were dead last in blocks per game last year. So this is definitely going to help them out. This is definitely going to make this team a lot better on the defensive side, and it's going to help on the offensive end to me because Bam will have a little bit more energy for the offensive side. He doesn't have to just protect the rim and get all the rebounds now. He has a big man to help out with that. So
Exactly.
excellent pickup, Miami. Excellent pickup. Pat Riley, you want to sleep on that one, player? I tell you that.
You want me to lead off the second pick?
Yeah, let me say some of these comments right quick.
All right, go ahead, do your thing.
Joe, Bam is a true four. Yeah, me and Carl definitely agree with that. Bam would be one of USA's best players this summer. You on your own on that one because you see the squad they got.
I know who I think gonna be one of their best.
I do too. And stay tuned because I'm definitely gonna talk about that USA because they got games coming up very, very soon. Dave, yeah, we had 0 rim protection last year. Dave again outside of Bam. Yeah. Welcome where? And Carl was about to talk about the next pick for you. So go ahead, Carl.
So with the second pick that he had, Dave shows I say he's a guard. I think some people have him listed as a wing. Oh, he's on this. I'm looking for him on the other page. Pele Larson out of Arizona. He's 6'6", but I think he's still a guard. I think he can run on offense. I think he can he's definitely can score the rock. He was third on Arizona in scoring, first in assists. Now at Arizona he was third, but he was behind Caleb Love, who's clearly getting all the shots, so most of the shots. And he was behind Omar Bello, who you gotta give his touches. He's 7 foot. He's a really good big. You gotta get him his touches. But Pele Larson was a scorer right with them. He played with Kerr Carissa, who's now in Kentucky 2 years ago. I love the Pele Larson pick. Averaged 12.8 points per game, 3.7 assists, and 4.1 boards, shooting 51.9% from the field and 42.6 from three. Knocked down three-point shooter. You cannot leave him open. He's going to knock it down. And if you look at how the Heat constructed, they have shooters. They have Tyler Hero who can shoot. They have Duncan Robinson who can shoot. And he just goes into the mix with those guys. So offensively, that helps him out. So I thought that was a really good pick because you get the defense with Khalil Ware that moves Bam to the 4. And now you get another shooter who bolsters the bench. I really like what Miami did in the draft.
Yeah, Miami had one of the best drafts, if you ask me. That's probably why they didn't make a whole rack of all-season moves with the free agency.
That's
so,
what
Dave,
explain.
You got to relax, okay? Another thing about, you know who he reminds me of? He's like a mix between Mike Dunleavy and what's the guy that played for the Heat now? What's his name? The shooter.
Who, Duncan?
Duncan. He reminds me of him for some reason, bro. You know why? He got a knockdown shot. Mike Dunleavy had a knockdown, but Mike Dunleavy also was a solid passer. and Pele can pass.
Yeah, he can facilitate.
He can definitely run the offense. He can definitely initiate the offense. And another thing, I like him off the dribble. He has the ability to. He's not like a I'm gonna break you down, but he's a shooter. He catch it, swings through. He knows how to put the ball down, get to the basket. A little something that we've been seeing from Duncan Robinson lately. Because at first, all Duncan did was shoot threes,
He
but
catch and shoot.
but now he tries to go to the basket. So I think this is a excellent pickup for you guys. I think he's going to fit right into that Heat culture.
I agree. I agree.
Hey, Dave said, I'm trying. I've been listening to y'all since that chat convo we had. Hey man, we trying to let you know, man. Trying to let you
Now
know.
I saw the vision, bro, with the draft. I saw what Pat Riley was thinking.
So he saw the dreams while he was sleeping.
I definitely.
But yeah, that's I believe that's the only picks they had. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the Heat. All right, who we got? Spurs. Let's spur of the moment. Let's get into these guys, man.
your
Round
boy, man.
one. Yes, sir. My guy. I gotta talk about my guy. Their first pickup was
Stephon
Cass.
Castle.
Yep, Castle from UConn, 6'6", 210 pounds. This guy, I want to address this right quick. Hey Blaze,
Hey,
this
I
ain't
knew
for
it.
you. We talking about this. We talking about this for Worm, not you.
I knew that was coming.
Just so you know. But Castle, 6'6", 210, excellent pickup. I love this pickup. I thought he was a very underrated guard. Like, they only talk about his defense, but I think offensively, getting to the basket, he is like that. Like, he's like that security blanket that UConn had. He's that guy that, hey, he averaged 30. I need you to check him. I got you. Hey, we need a clutch bucket, clutch hustle bucket, clutch steal. Like, he's that guy. And I think him landing over here in San Antonio with a guy like Pop Wemby, you got CP3 over there. This team is gonna be scary next year, just based off CP3, Castle, and Wemby, and then they already got the other guy. What's his name? My
Keldon
guy.
Johnson.
Nah, not Kelder. He nice too. My other guy, the scorer.
Devin Vassell.
Yes, Vassell. That's my guy. He Watch out for this person. Joe had made a bold prediction. They're gonna make the playoffs, and they just might with what they got going on. One thing Castle has to work on though is a three-ball shooting. He's not the greatest three-ball shooter, and playing with CP3 and Wemby, you're gonna get some shots. So that's one thing he's gonna work on. But his defense and his size and the way he play is definitely gonna. He probably end up starting this year. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, so my notes right here, I have this is literally my notes. Elite defender who can score and run an offense, do what you need to win, but has to develop a three ball. So
Same
we
thing.
are on the same page. On the same exact page. I love the Stephon Castle pick. And I know a lot of people talking about when CP3 went to the Spurs, like you said, it was good for Wemby. But even on the show, I was like, we're not going to talk about the impact CP3 might have on Stephon Castle. Because I do think one day Stephon Castle is actually going to run this offense. Yeah, he's 6'6", but I don't like the Jeremy Shohan at point guard experiment. It seems like they don't want Tyus Jones to start. So when CP3 is gone, Stephon Castle moves right into that point guard role, in my opinion. So I love the pick. Stephon Castle, he took UConn from really good to juggernaut. Because I remember when UConn played Kansas, UConn lost by 4. But in that game, Stephon Castle didn't play. And then he comes back. They lose one game, I believe, and that was to Creighton, who shot lights out from 3. Steven Ashworth became Jimmer Fredette from downtown. Like, he just could not miss. Yeah. No matter what UConn would have did that game, they were losing. So he took them over the top. Really great player. I love the pick.
Yeah, he's a really, really good player. It's like San Antonio was perfect for him, if you ask me. I think that's going to be a really good spot for him. He's going to be able to really strap up having a guy like Wemby in the background. So
yeah, and one last thing I would say about Castle is he's young. He was a freshman last year. So
Facts.
You already have all that in a freshman. Sky's the limit.
All right, the other pick they had in the second round, they got this pick from the they ended up swapping picks with the Pacers. Juan Nunez from Spain. He's a 6'4" point guard. Looks like he has good size on him. There's some of the strength that they say he has. He has vision. his shooting and the decision making is pretty good. But one thing I can say is the Spurs are known for picking up international guys and developing them. So I think this is what this is that kind of pick. The Spurs is looking for their future point guard after CP3, and this is one of those picks that they can just put to the side for now.
Yeah, I think he's more so an insurance pick because he is a drafting status guy, so he will not be in San Antonio at all this year. I think he's overseas in Barcelona or something like that.
Yep.
So I think it's an insurance pick just in case Stephon Castle experiment at point guard doesn't work, which I don't see happening. I think that experiment works. So it's like you said, they can draft him, develop him, and if Castle don't work, cool. We got another guy right here that can step in. But if it do work, hey, it was a second round pick. It was a drafted stash anyway. He could come off the bench and help. So I think it's pretty decent. I think it's a San Antonio move for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we got a live update. Hey, make sure y'all join them chats, become a member, cause you get these type of updates live. Dave saying the Bulls trying to trade Zach LaVine and Vucevic after the DeMar DeRozan deal. So it look
Rebuild,
like
like I said earlier.
yeah, they definitely rebuilding. So what's the they pick name again?
Mastis, Buzelis.
Hey, it might be your time, my boy. Get ready. It might be your time. You and Kobe White.
Hey, shout out Kobe.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah.
UNC. All right. Speaking of UNC, the final pick that the Spurs had was actually a UNC guy. My guy, Harrison Ingram. 6'5", 234 pounds. He's a forward, pretty much
You muted. There you go.
he's a guy that he does a little bit of everything. He's a solid defender, a solid rebounder, a solid finisher. He can shoot the ball. One thing he does have to work on, if you ask me, due to his height, because if he was like 6'8", he would have been like perfect with his skill set. But he's only 6'5", so I would encourage him to get his ball handling up just a little bit more. He's more of an all ball player, if you ask me. But I think this is an excellent pickup for a team like the Spurs, a guy that is a utility player. He reminds me of what's the guy Sohan a little bit, but he can shoot the ball a lot more better.
So my notes on Harrison Ingram is a tough wing player who can shoot, can use his strength, his size and strength to overpower smaller defenders. But it will be interesting to see how he does that or how he does against guys in the league. Because what I noticed a lot at UNC is y'all will find a mismatch and go. He will be the guy to find the mismatch and y'all will go to. In the NBA, it's really not going to be any mismatches for him because, like you said, it's height. You got him at 6'5". I found him listed at 6'6". That inch really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how he does against guys who's bigger than him. They're more than likely quicker than him because he's not that quick of a player. He's really good, but he's not the quickest guy. So, but he's a really good scorer. He's a really good player, has really good passing ability. I knew he would do well. I remember when he announced that he was coming to UNC, I knew that was a great move for him. So I liked him ever since the days at Stanford. He was highly touted going there. That's a great pick. I don't see how that pick can be like, how do I want to say this? I don't see how they messed it up. I think that's a really good pick there, especially where they got him. Where they got him at like 48 or something like that.
Yeah, 48.
So yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be he's a good, like we said, it's a lot of good role players in this draft, and I think he's gonna be a really good one. Like you say, he's only 6'5", 6'6", but he's 230. Like I think that's the heaviest person we talked about today so far.
Yeah, probably. If somebody heavier, he's probably 7'1", 7'2".
Right. So that's why I say if he get his ball handling together, he will be able to actually use that frame against smaller like guards, because that's probably the only thing that's going to really be smaller is guards, unless he got Duncan Robinson on him.
Yeah, but he's just going to overpower him with strength.
Right. So, but that's the Spurs, man. Y'all got some solid little pickups, especially y'all first. Y'all did a good. I think the Spurs did a good job in the draft as well. They got some
their
good
whole
value.
offseason been really good.
Yeah, definitely. Who was killing Pop over there about how he was treating Wemby, and now they're making up for it so far.
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna go ahead into your squad, Carl. We're gonna talk about them Pistons. I'll let you go ahead and lead that one off, dog.
All right, so y'all seen the real. You seen the real. Me killing my squad. I still feel the same way about our draft. Now, our off season. I don't know if y'all heard the chat, but I changed my mind about the off season. I'm actually not that mad at our off season at all. But the first pick, Ron Holland. The reason why I felt like we should have went somewhere else is because the lack of a three ball. Now we have gotten shooters since then in the offseason, but those guys aren't a part of the future. Those are guys that we're trying to plug and play. Maybe they stay, maybe they won't. Ron Holland is a part of the future. And I just don't like the fact he can't shoot. He does everything else really well. He's an athletic guy. He's 6'8". I'm not going to read off his stats because the G League. But I think I think he's a good player, just not a good fit for the Pistons.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible pick. I'm not gonna lie, Carl. Who did y'all pick in the first round last year?
Asar Thompson.
He's like the same player.
Exactly.
Only thing I think Thompson has a little more like ball handling and passing ability than him though. But other than that, they're the same exact player, really.
Exactly.
I thought I thought the Rocket should have got one of them 7-footers so they can move. What's his name? Their big man.
They shouldn't move Sengun. We'll talk about that later, but I don't think that they should move Sengun at all.
No, I'm saying to the 4.
I don't think they should move him. He did really well.
I'm not saying he can't play the 4, the 5, the 4. I mean, he can't play the 5. He's not a rim protector though.
I feel you.
You get a guy like Donovan down there.
That's fine. But they were talking about if they get him, they were gonna move him, like get off.
Oh
of
no, they shouldn't trade him at all. He's too good.
Yeah, they were talking about trading, bro.
I had him in my top 5 players under 25, so he like number. I think he was number 5. He gonna be like that for years to come. They better keep him.
I agree. They even said that when he was in a summer league. That's why I'm so confused on why they trying so hard to move him.
I mean, we'll take him in Orlando for sure. I'll take him
Detroit.
For real. He nice, but I thought maybe they should have got the Rockets should have got a big man at 3, and maybe y'all should have got Reed Shepard.
I wouldn't be too mad at Reed, but Reed is just like another point guard, and I mean he's under. What is Reed like 6'3",
6'2"?
Yeah,
3-point specialist.
I get that, but I mean I guess because Cade is 6'7", that could work. So I'm not really mad at that. Yeah, it could work. It could work because Cade like 6'6", 6'7".
He's 6'7". I thought maybe that should have. I think that would have been better for both parties because, like you say, y'all looking for shooting, and that just for next year, for the future. So that was my recommendation. Maybe I can call y'all GM, see if y'all can work something out. But Ron Holland, I don't know. I ain't like that pick for y'all. I think he's going to be a good player though because, like you said, he can do everything. So maybe y'all are just trying to shore up y'all defenders for like when y'all play good wings. I'm not sure to be honest, but Ron Holland a second.
Yeah, man, that one hurt.
All right, your second pick. Go ahead, talk to me.
Now the second one, however, I actually liked Bobby Klintman out of Wake Forest / Sweden. So I don't know if you heard it on the show, but I found out why he was in this year's draft. He was in the draft prior, but he withdrew his name and ended up doing some NBA development thing in Sweden, and that's why he was in this year's draft. And I actually liked him in last year's draft. I know we talked about him a little bit in the chat. He definitely can do the rock a little bit, has a little passing ability, and he can stretch the floor at the 4. And my notes on Bobby Klintman is this: stretch 4 who took a development year, had some ball handling skills and passing ability. Now at Wake Forest, he averaged 5.3 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 40.7% from the floor, shooting 36.8 from the 3. He shot 76 threes. Now the reason why his numbers are so low, he didn't start at Wake Forest. I think he came off the bench. But those are cool bench numbers for a guy, for Bobby Klintman. And he kind of came on later on in the year. So I like the pick. I've been saying we need a stretch 4. I don't know if – I'm not even going to say I don't know. Isaiah Stewart isn't going to cut it for us. I think he's a good player. He's just not going to cut it for the Pistons. And we may move on from him.
That's the first thing I was going to say. Get Stewie out of here. It's Bobby. It's Bobby time, man. I like this pick for y'all as well. I think he is a guy that's going to bring a lot more energy than a guy like Stewart. Stewart, to me, he's not going to get no better. It's like this is what you're gonna get, you know. And if this is what y'all gonna get from him, he need to go to the bench. To be honest, I think this kid here, I think he plays with a little bit more tenacity. I think on the defensive end, I think he can move a lot better than Stu. You know, as far as sliding his feet and things of that nature. Because Stewart, he was good for like, because he's strong. Don't get me wrong,
He was an
he's strong.
undersized five.
Yeah, he's strong, but he reminds me of the Reggie Evans, that I like. But I like Clintman because I feel like I think y'all just need to move on from a lot of the guys that y'all been having and bringing some young guys like a Clement. Not wrong. I think that's gonna bode well for y'all. Cause like you said, y'all need shooting for the future, and this does that for y'all.
Yeah. I like Stewart, man. I liked him when we drafted him. It's just he's an undersized five. We tried to turn him into a stretch four. He's not a stretch four at all in the slightest. Like I don't get the thought process behind that. I didn't like that when they announced it. Even if we like keep him at the four and use him like you said, like a Reggie Evans, that goes better than what we've been doing in the past years with Reggie. I mean, not with Reggie, with Isaiah Stewart. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be mad if we kept him, but I also wouldn't be mad if we traded him for whatever we could get for him.
yeah. He said whatever we can get, anything. All right. So next team we got done. We got done. Let's talk about the Pacers. They had like 3 or 4 picks, I think.
Three of them.
Yeah, 3. All right, the Pacers. First pick, they got another guard with the other guard from UConn, and that's Tristan Newton. Go ahead, Carl. Take this one away.
Oh, I love the pick. Tristan Newton, tournament, back-to-back tournament, Final Four MVP. He raises his game to another level when the lights is brightest, and you can't go wrong with that. He averaged 15.1 points per game, 6.2 assists, and 6.6 rebounds per game as a 6'3" guard at UConn last year, shooting 41.5% from the field, 32.1% from 3-point land. He's a bucket. To be honest with you, he can get to the rim, he can finish, he can score. He definitely can facilitate the offense. He was the main facilitator at UConn. Defensively, he's not elite, but he's up there too. He's a part of a really good defensive backcourt at UConn. I really like the pick there with the Pacers, especially because they definitely need help defensively. And if he gets some burn, I think he can help them with that aspect of the game.
Yeah, I love the pickup too. Um, this kid can do it all in the offensive end. I mean, you saw what he did in the tournament, especially in the championship game. He looks like nobody can speed him up. He plays with good poise. Um, they say that he has to work on his shooting, but I see no problem with his shooting.
He just
Like,
shoots a volume, and sometimes they could be bad shots, but his numbers could be low because of the volume that he takes.
right. And going to a team like the Pacers, I think this is an excellent move for the Pacers because it gives them some flexibility. Nemhard just came off an excellent playoff, so his stock is high. They might can move him and get some capital and move on with Tristan because Tristan, even though he hasn't played in the NBA back to back, like you said, MVP and those player, what's it,
Final Four MVP.
Final Four MVP and national champion back to back, being the best player on the team. So I like to pick up a lot. I think a team like the Pacers, they get up and down the floor. I think his style fits them pretty well. So yeah, I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah, and I was just going to say it if you didn't mention it, but you did. But the Andrew Nemhart thing, man, him playing well for the Pacers was a good thing for them at the time, but a bad thing for them long term because he gonna want his bread now. Y'all saw what he's capable of doing. He gonna want his money. Can you
That's
pay
right.
him and Tyrese Halliburton? So, like you said, this was a great insurance if they don't have the money for Nemhart.
Yeah. This they next pick was Enrique
Oh, you
Freeman.
missed one.
That oh yeah, I thought they traded.
You
Is he
missed one.
over? He over? Yeah, he was the first pick. Dang.
Yeah.
They traded the Spurs when we talk about Juan Nunez. They traded the Spurs for Johnny
Furphy.
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 That every time I see that, it be messing my head. I be wanting to say Murphy every time.
Yeah, nah. I was at the start of Kansas basketball. Trust me, I was with you.
Johnny Furphy, 6'8", 189 pounds. He's a great shooter. This is one thing that he would impact immediately when he gets to the NBA, and that's something the Pacers love. They love to shoot, and he's 6'8", has good size on him. He's not a great defender, but those are things that you could, like Carl said, you could become a better team defender, things of that nature. But he has a 6'8" frame, which is a plus when it comes to defense. Uh, he has a good feel for the game as well. When you watch him play, he doesn't just stand around just wanting to shoot. He's not afraid to put it down the floor and get to the basket. But his number one thing is shooting. And him being, he doesn't have like a quick either. His shot like isn't like quick. But him being 6'8" is hard to really get a blocking his shot because he has a high arc. But I like to pick up for them. Just gives them depth for shooting.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid pick. Averaged 9 points per game, 4.9 rebounds per game. Shot 46.5% from the field, 35.2 from three. Now he wasn't a starter at Kansas. He started, I think he started more so later toward the end of the year. But Furphy, he's a shooter. He has some scoring capabilities on the dribble, but that's not really his forte. Like you say, he can get to the rim, but again, his forte is really shooting. Yeah. And defensively, I think he will struggle out the gates if he does get burned in the NBA, just because I don't think he's as quick as he needs to be for guys in the league. He is 6'8", and he is kind of smaller, so guys could look to post him up as well. But I do think it's a solid pick, and if they keep Miles Turner, they'll have the rim protection to help him. And yeah,
facts. They definitely, yeah, if they keep Miles Turner, because
I'd be trying to trade him.
Tacky trying to trade him.
Every chance.
But even the other pick that they got, this is going to help for their defense as well. You can go ahead and talk. You go ahead and start.
I love Enrique Freeman in college. Senior out of Akron University. Actually took Akron to the big dance. Averaged 18.6 points per game, 12.9 rebounds per game, 1.7 blocks per game, and he shot 58.4% from the field. He's 6'7", so I have in my notes right here that he's an undersized big that plays bigger than his size. Because I ain't gonna lie, before the draft, I didn't think Enrique was that short. I thought he was like 6'10", 6'11". No, he's 6'7". Yeah, the way he plays, I thought he was 6'10", 6'11". He's active. He's a really active defender. He has great rim protection, but he's going to have to develop offensively, and I think he's already trying to do so in that aspect. But defensively, he's going to be he's active. He's a pogo stick. He can jump. Really good shot blocker. He has really good timing. I like the pick if the Pacers can develop him.
Yeah, I love that pick too, man. You know who he reminds me of that's in the league now? Brandon Clark for Memphis.
Okay, yeah. I'm not mad at that from Memphis.
He plays almost just like him, like high energy.
Brandon Clark just got a little bit more polished offensively, though. But
yeah, he developed that, you know. He is a tenacious rebounder. He plays with high energy on the defensive end. I love this pickup as well for them. One thing I noticed about him, this dude post hook, that little hook shot he do from the post, he was killing everybody with that in college. That's like his go-to move. So it's good to see a player have a go-to move on the offensive end. And it's a move that is pretty simple. He bats you down and just hooks it right over you. Yeah. Even taller defenders. So that shows that's good to see that he has a good touch, drop step in and shooting the hook shots from with his right hand. So I think it's going to be a good pickup. The Pacers, they need a little bit of defense over there. They have a guy already, Jackson, that kind of reminds me of him as well.
Isaiah Jackson, from Kentucky.
So I like to pick up, and he has a little potential with the jump shot as well. So
I think he got to develop his jump shot, and free throws for sure got to improve. Yeah. I mean, he shot 70-some%, which ain't bad, but the year before that, he shot 61.
Yeah, he gonna have to develop for sure, but he got a little bit of promise on him. I think we're on the last team now, ain't we?
I was just about to say, I think we done.
You can't do your neighbor like that.
Oh, no. Yeah. We didn't talk about my neighbor. Yep.
You can't do your neighbor like that. All right.
Yeah, we definitely got to talk about my neighbor.
So I'll do the first pick. What did I do? For the Washington Wizards. Yeah, that's his neighbor, the Wizards. Alex Saw out of France. 7 feet tall, 224 pounds. I mean, this guy has been having people talk about him all year, saying he's going to be the number one pick, the next Wemby-like player out of France. Um, One thing I can say, him at 7 foot, he has a 9 feet 2 inch standing reach, which is crazy. Which is going to be crazy for the defensive side. He has ball handling ability, he has shooting ability, passing ability, but he will get immediate impact on defensive side and also being like a pick and roll guy, a slasher, things of that nature. He'll develop all the other things, but he's probably going to be the next closest thing to Wimby in the next couple of years. So our eyes, especially us being from the DMV, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of him.
Yeah, so pretty much I had the same thing as you. A lot of people called him Baby Wimby or Little Wimby. He does have some passing and shooting ability. I did notice that. So he's looking to revitalize for Wizards franchise who needs to be revitalized. And like you say, his impact immediately is going to be on the defensive end. They lost Daniel Gafford via trade last year. So he's definitely going to step into that role. Him and potentially Kuzma, because we don't know if he's still going to be there. Should be a nice little front court for the Wizards. But yeah, great pick, especially because they got him at number 2.
Yeah. All right, you can take the next one.
Bub, I should say Carlton Bub Carrington, which is funny because that's the second Pitt player with that nickname that's not on the same sport. So you had Bub Carrington, you had Bub Means, who played receiver at Pitt. But Bub Carrington, man, what can I say about this guy? He is a buck it. Freshman took the world by storm in the ACC. He averaged 13.8 points per game, shooting 41.2% from the field and 32.2% from three. Now, you might be saying, Carl, that's pretty low for a guy who can score. And my answer to you would be that he do have a tendency to be jacking at times, and that could ruin his percentages. But he also has the ability to hit tough shots. So you got to take the good with the bad when it comes with him. It's not a shot he don't like. It's not. And sometimes it will drop. He does have the capability to facilitate, averaging 4.1 assists per game. And as a 6'4" guard, he averaged 5.2 rebounds per game. His thing, besides jacking at times, may be defensively. But other than that, as a scoring option, that was a really good pickup for the Wizards.
Yeah, I like the pickup too. He has good size, being 6'4", 195. Like I said, we got guys 6'8" that we talking about barely getting 200. So him being 6'4", 195 is a plus. He plays with poise. He's fearless as well. He's gonna go at you. So that's one thing I do like about him, man. Like I said, we from the DMV, man. We need some ballers.
Well, technically,
we need some ballers and some buckets, and this pick was that right there. So. Because who they guard? Tyus Jones right now. Tyus Jones is an excellent guard. I would love to see Bud coming off the bench. I really would. Let's see where he's from.
He's from Maryland, but I think he's more so from Baltimore. That's why I said technically he's from the DMV, but you know how that go.
Yeah, I do say he excited to play close. Yeah, he's from Baltimore.
Yeah, so you know how that go.
Yeah, they be hating on us up there. All right, let's talk about the last one right quick.
All right, so another freshman, Kaishawn George from the University of Miami. Shout out to you. 6'7" wing from Miami, who he basically has the same amount of scoring ability as a Bub Carrington. Now, his numbers are lower because he came off the bench and he was behind Naju Pack and Wooga Poplar and other established guards at the collegiate level at Miami. But he still averaged 7.6 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, and 2.2 assists per game while shooting 42.6% from the floor and 40.8% from three. He started 16 games. I remember the Wake Forest game. I think he had like 19 or 21 in that game, but he's a really, really good three-point shooter. I do think at times he does lack aggression on offense. I would like to see him be a little bit more aggressive in searching for his shot, but I think he can get to the rim. But while I say sometimes he can lack aggression, sometimes he can be over-aggressive as well. So I like the pickup, though. I think that's another bucket to help the Wizards. And he's 6'7", and he can move. So he has the potential to be a decent defender.
Facts. That's the number one thing I was looking at. 6'7", 205. Definitely has the potential at point guard. I mean, he can definitely be a great defender. One thing about him that I really like is the height. I mean, 6'7", being able to be a guard and then with that shooting ability, that's instant. That's just instant good stuff. He has good passing ability, especially getting to the NBA. Um, that's like a thing now, having taller guards, taller guys running your offense because they can see the floor a lot better. So Wizards, man, y'all got three good pickups. I feel like I think me and Carl both agree. Y'all got three good pickups.
I love their draft.
So we're gonna see. Hopefully, Jordan Poole and Kuzma don't spoil the bunch because y'all might need to move them boys and pick up some other stuff because these young boys ain't bad at y'all picking up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I love their draft. And I know throughout the show we've been saying like we like picks. Trust me, it's because we ain't talk about the ones we dislike. And you heard me already talk about one. But it's some guys who I thought missed, but I like the pick.
Oh yeah, there's one player that I want to talk about because this is just I just was a big fan of this guy, and I know Carl know about him as well. I'm gonna let Carl. This is a freestyle. I ain't tell you about this.
All right, let's get it.
This easy though. This you know this. My guy from Colorado, Cody Williams.
Cody, that's my boy. That's my boy right there.
Don't
Jalen
let
Williams' little brother.
I'm gonna let you go.
So
I'll
Cody
let you start
Williams, he
it
went
off.
10th to the Jazz, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I love the pick. He can do it all, man. Defensively, he's really solid. He can shoot the ball. He can create his own shot. He's good off the dribble. I love the pick, Cody Williams there, man. I want to say he's like 6'6", 6'7", maybe even 6'8". I know he got some size on him.
6'7".
6'7", yeah. He kind of fell out of rotation a little bit at Colorado, but got back in. But I
Yep.
love that pick, man. He does a little bit of everything really well.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I want to talk about it because he's one of these guys that a lot of people don't know how good he is, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people when he gets to the league because, like you said, he got good size and he got game. He can literally do it all, and I like his. Um, I noticed when I watched him in the tournament, just the whole Colorado team. Um, they started off real strong in the year, but then they started to fizzle a little bit towards the end. But one thing I noticed about him and De Silva is these guys they know how to play basketball well. Like they was a well coached team. So I think that's gonna translate instantly to the NBA. And Cody Williams, hey man, you my dark horse for rookie of the year. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, look, when you said Colorado, I thought you was gonna talk about my boy KJ Simpson at first.
You can say something about him if you want. He nice
Where
too.
did KJ go? I forgot where KJ went.
I
Let me
got
let
you.
me look up where he went real quick. But I love KJ Simpson, man. KJ Simpson was I think he was the heart and soul of that Colorado team. Point guard. I want to say he was second team All American, but I'm gonna definitely Google that. Oh, he went to the Hornets. I
Yeah.
think that's a really good pick. I know he's like in the 40s. He's 6'1", scoring. He went 42nd, 6'1", scoring capability out of this world for KJ
Yes.
Simpson. He can get to the rim. He can pass the ball, facilitate the ball. He can shoot the ball. He offensively can do it all. I love KJ Simpson, and I think I think this Colorado team was just a good basketball team. Like you said, they struggle in the Pac-12 schedule, but I mean the Pac-12 is a pretty good
It
basketball
is.
conference, so it's going to happen. But yeah, KJ Simpson, I think not a name to look out for rookie of the year because I don't know if he'll play, but that's a name to look out for just if he gets burned.
Yeah, he's nice. He definitely can get buckets. I remember him, light skinned dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can definitely get some buckets. I remember him. But yeah, man, that's the draft for you guys. Any last words, Carl, before we hop up off this thing?
I'm gonna gloat a little bit. So you know the summer league was yesterday. One name that I mentioned when I said some names that the Lakers could have picked at 55th was Blake Henson. Blake Henson had 17 points last night for the Lakers Summer League, had 5 threes. He had a really good game. He was one of the more productive players for the Lakers. But I was told I was naming trash. So just got to shout out Blake Henson for, making me look good on game one. But not seriously, another shout out I have is Adonis Arms. Man, it looked like he elevated his game tremendously from last night. 32 points for the Kings, had a double-double. And then Antoine Davis giving you 20 points off the bench for the
Yeah,
Kings. 6'3", 6'9" from three, instant offense. I would love to see Antoine Davis actually get a shot in the league because he's just so gifted offensively. But other than that, appreciate you for having me on. Love this time of the year when it comes to the summer league. A lot of names to look out for. And yeah, man, again, appreciate you for having me.
yes, sir, man. Appreciate you for stepping on here. You know you the college guru. So that's Bronny James played yesterday too. First game, he had 4 points, 1 steal, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 22 minutes, shot 2 for 9, 0 for 3 from the field from the 3, and 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Not a very good start, but it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. But I would like to thank everybody that was in the comments. Shout out to the network. Shout out to every single show that we have on the network. They're all listed down low in the bio, all of them added and everything. Click on each one, join each one. They all do their thing for sure. We have one here, Carl, CTC Carl. He the college guru, like I said. But shout out to the Magic, man. Y'all made a good pick at 18, picking up the silver. You know, we like all these picks that we talked about today, except for the Ron Holland pick. That was just the one pick of the day that we didn't like. But we're going to shout out to all these rookies, man. Shout out to the GMs making these moves. Miami, y'all did y'all thing. Dave, cut some slack to my boy Tyler Hero. All right? He did more than enough for y'all last year. But we're going to be back for sure because we got Summer League going. The Olympics about to start. WNBA season is still going on. And we got to talk more and more. Y'all know why. Do I gotta tell them why, Carl, or you want to tell them why?
What, the Summer League?
No, I said you want to tell them why we gonna be back.
Oh man, I forgot how to end it because I missed it last week because I was in Southern Maryland, bro. I told you I was listening until I couldn't no more.
That's all good, man. They
already can I clear something
know.
up before you do your outro though? KJ Simpson was not All-American. He was first team All Pac-12.
Hey, we know KJ gonna do his thing because real ballers gonna ball.